Evaluating ADHD. Do your efforts match your stress? Let's be real. ADHD can feel like you're running a marathon in flip-flops while everyone else is jogging in sneakers. You're sweating, you're working, your brain is firing in 20 directions at once, and yet somehow you're still behind. That mismatch, where your stress doesn't match your results, is one of the most universal ADHD experiences. Think about the last time you sat down to just do the thing. Maybe it was answering emails, writing a report, or folding the laundry. What should have taken 20 minutes stretched into hours. Not because you weren't trying, but because your brain threw up detours. Decision paralysis, hyperfocus on the wrong detail, forgetting what you were doing halfway through. By the end, the stress was sky high, but the output? Nowhere close to the effort you put in. This is executive dysfunction in action. People love to call ADHDers lazy, but here's the truth. We're often expending more energy than neurotypical peers just to stay in the same lane. It's like running with weights tied to your ankles. Nobody can see the extra weight, but you feel every step. And that gap between effort and outcome creates stress, constant stress. Here's the kicker. Your brain isn't broken. It's wired differently. ADHD brains burn energy in places others barely notice. Organizing tasks, regulating emotions, switching between activities, all of these take extra mental fuel. So by the time you get to the main task, you're already running on fumes. That's why you're exhausted even before you finish. Let's call it what it is. Hidden labor. The mental gymnastics, the self-talk, the sticky notes, the timers, the rereading instructions 5 times. All of that is work. Just because it doesn't produce a visible result doesn't mean it doesn't count. But the world rarely measures effort. It measures output. And that mismatch leaves ADHDers stressed, guilty, and often doubting themselves. So how do we start to rebalance the equation? First, acknowledge the effort. Your stress makes sense because the energy you expend is real. Naming that can be a relief. I'm not weak. I'm carrying a heavier cognitive load. Second, shift how you measure success. Instead of only asking, did I finish? Try asking, how much effort did I give? Sometimes showing up is the biggest win. Third, build systems, supports, and boundaries. Using a planner, an app, or asking for help isn't cheating. It's leveling the playing field. It's how you get the stress-to-effort ratio closer to fair. And let's talk about self-compassion. ADHD brains thrive on dopamine, not shame. The more we punish ourselves for the gap between effort and result, the worse the cycle gets. But if we honor effort, if we say, that was hard and I tried, we start breaking the loop. Because your worth is not tied to output. Your worth is tied to being human. So the next time you think, why am I so tired when I didn't even finish? Remember, ADHD loads the front end with stress. You're doing the equivalent of running uphill while everyone else has a flat road. Of course it feels harder. Of course it costs more energy. That doesn't make you less capable. It makes your wins even more meaningful. At the end of the day, it's not about comparing yourself to neurotypical productivity. It's about evaluating effort with honesty and kindness. Stress isn't weakness. It's the signal that you're putting in real energy. The trick is making sure that energy is directed in ways that serve you, not just the expectations of others. And if you've made it this far, maybe this is the reminder you needed. Your stress makes sense, your effort matters, and you're not alone in feeling like the math doesn't add up. ADHD changes the math, but it doesn't erase the value of your work.